النواب فسما دار دور بتومشنو واحد بالنواب ده أما حاجة ترى أجيب في نملة قال أحلو نملة بقى municipality قبل كده حوالي أصابع في الرئاسية في كاونتي لا بقولوا بانجال ده في المدينة وأعرف من بيان ولا مشنو لا فبقى قال كاونتي بس إذا جيب لنا هنا نملة municipality ما في مواصفات بتاع municipality أو بتاع حاجة تكون مدينة كده المفروض في كهرباء تمام كده 24 ساعة وفي مستشفى كده في دكتور وفي عمليه بعملوا فيها خدمات كده بيكون في او في كليه طب او كليه بتاع ممرضات او كليه بتاع فادي ذاته حاجات ده بيكون في لكن دي اللي كان يا فادي ده منسبه بس ايش مساكن تقول انا مش شغل انا طالع قرار ترى ايضا في مسبه القرار ليش نو هذا الوقت ما في لو كان في حاجات كده جاهز بقال اول اللي بيعرفوا هذا سكان كده وحاجات كده بعدين نعرفوا.
Sounds of the Week on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, this is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. South Sudan and the Republic of Djibouti have signed a historic agreement to develop key White Nile River and dry ports. And the Central Equatorial State Governor has suggested the establishment of a special court to address land grabbing and related disputes following his meeting with the Chief Justice Dr. Benjamin Bach Deng in Juba on Tuesday. These stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, James Atem. Now the news in detail. South Sudan and the Republic of Djibouti have signed a historic agreement to develop key White Nile River and dry ports. The deal signed on August 18 includes projects in Malakal, Renk, Nasser, Adok, Shambe, Bor and Juba, as well as a new dry port in Ye. This marks a significant milestone in consolidating cooperation between two countries. The agreement was signed by South Sudan Minister of Trade, Dr. Lam Akola Jawin, and Djibouti's Minister of Infrastructure and Transport, Musa Ahmed Hassan. Abubakar Omar Hadi, chairperson of the Djibouti Ports and Free Zone Authority, was also present. The Ministry of Transport stated that the agreement focuses on investment and development of White Nile River ports and dry ports within South Sudan. The initiative is designed to boost trade facilitation, advance logistic integration, and foster economic growth by connecting South Sudan more effectively with the wider region, wider African Great Lake regions rather. These projects are intended to facilitate the free movement of people, goods and services, solidifying South Sudan's position as key logistic hub in the region. The Minister of General Education and Instruction has formally apologized for the delay in releasing the results of the 2024 Certificate of Secondary Education exams. Kuyok Abol Kuyok made the remarks this morning during a meeting of the National Examination Council ahead of the release of the results later today. The minister apologized to students and parents, acknowledging the challenges caused by the delay. He also promised that such delays will not happen again. Kuyok was speaking to the media this morning.
Tradition, you will vet and approve the release of the eagerly awaited Certificate of Secondary Education examination results. However, as you've heard, I need first and foremost to apologize profoundly for the unprecedented delay in the processing of the results of CSE this year. This delay has, caused a lot of problems for all of us. So I want to apologize really to the parents, to the candidates, and the entire country. And I assure you, this will not happen again. collectively, distinguished members of the Council, the drive through the processes of examination and management has not been easy to the entire country, to the entire education fraternity in our country. And in this, I am pleased to report that we have finally succeeded.
More than 50 students across South Sudan sat for the Certificate of Secondary Education examination in December 2024, but the National Examination Council had not been able to release the results on time due to financial constraints, officials said. The Central Equatorial State Governor has suggested the establishment of a special court to address land grabbing and related disputes following his meeting with Chief Justice Dr. Benjamin Deng in Juba on Tuesday. Rabbi Mujung Emmanuel said the move is part of efforts to strengthen enforcement against illegal land occupation and ensure the peaceful resolution of disputes in line with President Kiir's directive for greater collaboration between the state governments and the judiciary. Mujung stated, and I quote, "We deliberated among ourselves and needed to engage the judiciary so that a special court could be established to deal with land grabbing." The meeting also focused on tackling rising crimes across the state, including robberies, suicide cases, and violence involving youth gangs locally known as niggers or Torontos. The governor also requested a dedicated court to handle public order cases. He also conveyed a request from the Kajukeji County Commissioner for the deployment of second and third grade judges to help reduce case backlogs. Governor Mujung described the meeting as fruitful and a critical step toward ensuring justice and maintaining public order in the state. He was accompanied by the State Minister of Local Government and Law Enforcement, Leon Abe Brown, and Juba Mayor, His Worship Johnson Swaka Nishak. You're listening to iRadio News. The Minister of Information in the Greater Pibor Administrative Area says heavy rains have flooded parts of Poshala South County, destroying homes and displacing hundreds of residents. Jacob Warshum says several villages located along the Akobo River have severely been affected after continuous rainfall overwhelmed the river's capacity. He told iRadio this morning that the floods have damaged farmland, submerged homes, and forced residents to flee their areas. Warshum said authorities are still assessing the full scale of the damage and the exact number of those displaced. He further stated that the affected communities have raised concerns over the disruption of their daily activities by the flooding. He spoke to iRadio this morning.
South villages living along the banks of the river Akobo have been hit by unprecedented flooding and submerged dozens of homes and farmlands in Ujangbai, Lukweri, Botegela, Uchari, and Kirlul Bumas. Over the past 3 days, the region experienced heavy rain that overwhelmed the local river, leading to moderate flooding and the displacement of thousands of families. The residents who have been forced by the rainwater to shut down their activities along the river expressed concern, with many of them unsure when the weather or the rainwater in the river will reach a low volume and be able to return to their economic activities along the river bank. The actual number is about to be verified soon, because this is the report assessment that was done, but the extent of the damage is still yet.
You're listening to iRadio News, and lastly, before the international news, the Minister of Peace Building in Northern Bahal Ghazali State has called on government officials attending the ongoing Commissioners Forum to use the platform to address peace-related challenges in the state. Peter Quart Dut made the remarks during the opening of the first ever Commissioners Forum, which began on Monday in Awil Town. The event was launched by the state governor, Simon Ober Mawood, who calls for an end to the random creation of local chieftainships and internal border disputes. The forum is part of the implementation of the Resolution 26 of the 8th Governors Forum 2024. This year's five-day event is held under the theme Building a Peaceful and Prosperous Northern Barghazal State. Minister Dut said the forum has created a chance to reach out to grassroots leaders and those working at the border areas. He also said it gave him useful insight into how peace issues are handled in those locations.
I am really encouraged and happy that it is also an opportunity for me as a Minister of Peace Building in Northern Barghazal State to use this as an opportunity to reach out to the grassroots and to reach out to the people responsible at the border points. I easily get them here and interacted with them, and easily also giving me information about the border point and how they deal with peace issues at the border point. It is something that I encourage, and I continue to embrace this opportunity to be organized yearly, as it is already thought of by our governor of Northern Barghazal State.
For his part, Mayar Akok, chairperson for Gender, Child, Human Rights and Humanitarian Affairs in the State Parliament, said the forum will help improve government institutions by encouraging knowledge sharing between departments.
This Commissioners Forum is going to have improvements in our institutions. Also, is going to give improvement also to our honorable members in the assembly, and also giving us the evaluation of all government of Northern Barghazal States, and also giving us the visions of Northern Barghazal State for 5 years and also for 20 years. So what we are doing here in Northern Barghazal State is very important, and also I'm encouraged other states to do the same, because governments should going to be implemented from a grassroots up to the state level and then to the national level.
The forum has brought together county commissioners, local authorities and other stakeholders to discuss ways to improve local governance and coordination in the state. It also aims to tackle cross-border trade issues with the neighboring Sudan, including custom disputes, market access and security challenges affecting border communities. The forum is expected to adopt a resolution that promote economic cooperation, improve trade system and support sustainable development before it closes on Friday. You're listening to iRadio News, and now to the regional and international news with my colleague Nyamod Port.
Good afternoon. Let's have a look at the stories making headlines from the region and beyond. The U.S. has reached bilateral deportation agreements with Honduras and Uganda as part of its crackdown on illegal immigration, according to documents obtained by the BBC U.S. partner CBS. Uganda has agreed to take an unclear number of African and Asian migrants who had claimed asylum on the U.S.-Mexico border, while Honduras will receive several hundred deported people from Spanish-speaking countries, CBS reports. The move is part of an attempt by Donald Trump's administration to get more countries to accept deported migrants who are not their own citizens. Elsewhere, a traffic accident in western Afghanistan has killed 73 people, including 17 children, most of whom were on a bus carrying Afghan migrants deported from Iran, a Taliban official confirmed to the BBC. The bus en route to Kabul caught fire on Tuesday night after colliding with a truck and motorcycle in Herat province, said Hamadullah Motaki, the Taliban's director of information and culture in Herat. He added that everyone aboard the bus was killed, as well as 2 people from the other vehicles. Finally, the Kremlin has played down talk of an imminent summit between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky, as Donald Trump renewed his call for the two leaders to meet to discuss ending the war in Ukraine. The push for a bilateral meeting comes after the U.S. president met Putin in Alaska last week and welcomed 7 European leaders and Zelensky to the White House on Monday. Trump admitted the conflict was a tough one to solve and conceded it was possible the Russian president was not interested in ending hostilities. That's all from the international scene, and now back to you, my colleague in the studio.
Thank you, Nyamot Port. And now to the sport news with my colleague Barry Johnson.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Sports News. The newly elected SSFF president, Mr. Francis Amin Michael, is expected to take over his office this afternoon after Friday victory. Amin won election with 26 votes out of 38 to become the 4th elected in his second term after losing the election 2021 to his successor, General Agostino Madud. The event will be attended by former President Agostino and the newly elected members of the executive committee and the staff plus Amin supporters. Brazilian goalkeeper Fabio Divoson Lopes has broken the record held by former England international Peter Shelton for most competitive appearance in world football, says his club. The 44-year-old made his appearance in the last 16 of the Copa Sudamericana, the South American equivalent to the Europe League, beating America de Cali 2-0 at the Maracana. Fabio made his professional debut in 1997 and has spent his entire career in Brazil. Liverpool winger Mohamed Salah has won the Professional Footballers Association Men's Player of the Year award, with Aston Villa midfielder Morgan Rogers named Young Player of the Year. Former England manager Sir Gareth is the 2025 recipient of the PFA Merit Award for his contributions to football and achievements with the national side. Salah, 33, is the first player to win on 3 occasions after playing a key role in Liverpool's title success last season. And finally, England right back Trent Alexander made his La Liga debut as Real Madrid and a narrow win against Osasuna. The summer signing from Liverpool had played 5 times for his new club at the FIFA Club World Cup, where they reached the semi-finals under new boss Xabi Alonso. That's all from the world of sports, and now back to you, my colleague James Atem in the studio.
Thank you, Barry Johnson, for the sport news. And now to end this bulletin, here are the headlines once again. South Sudan and the Republic of Djibouti have signed a historic agreement to develop key Nile river and dry ports. The Minister of General Education and Instruction has formally apologized for the delay in the releasing of the results of the 2024 Certificate of Secondary Education exams. And the Central Equatorial State Governor has suggested the establishment of a special court to address land grabbing and related dispute following his meeting with the Chief Justice, Dr. Benjamin Bagdeng, in Juba on Tuesday. That's the end of our radio news. If there is a story or an event you would like our radio to cover or report about, please send us a text message on +211 925 287 870. It's also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba. Like our Facebook page, iRadio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for news in Arabic at past the hour. I am James Atem. Thanks for listening.